So it seems there is a in this group, you're doing a practice of Shenrezig Avalokiteshvara once a month, and some of the people ask me whether they should receive some kind of a transmission of those. Generally speaking, the Vajrayana practices, usually sadhanas and things like that, you usually need to receive empowerment, and if not, at least reading transmission. So I'm giving you a reading transmission. A reading transmission means just I read it and you listen to it. So I'll read it in Tibetan, so you can sleep. It's short anyway. So this is permission to read the text. Another is the Ngondro practice, and I'll just give the first permissions. So about meditation. What kind of meditation shall we talk about? So, yesterday we talked about the meditation very generally, and especially, kind of a very introduction type, kind of very basic thing. But it seems that there are lots of people here who have been doing lots of practice for a long time. Maybe there are new ones also, I don't know, but and it seems you have been in this place also doing some Vajrayana practices like Shenrezig. I heard that you do a practice of Shenrezig every fourth weekend, or fourth Monday. Last Monday of the month. So, as I said yesterday, all the, in Buddhism, every meditation has to be kind of categorized within these two categories, Shamatha meditation and Vipassana meditation. Shamatha meditation is, as I said, to make our mind calm and clear, to make our mind more pliable, more tamed, more, it does as what I want it to do. That's the Shamatha meditation for. By doing Shamatha meditation, we should have our mind a little bit more, under control, more calmer, meaning that I can relax more. I can, allow my thoughts and emotions to come and go without, totally kind of overpowering myself. That's the main purpose of this meditation. Vipassana meditation is more what we call as insight meditation. Vipassana is the Sanskrit word. Vi is a prefix. Prefix which says which kind of when it is added to a word, then it makes it very much more complete, extra, things like that. So pasha means seeing, more seeing, or more clearly seeing, or fully seeing, vipassana. Now seeing here is used seeing because it's a meditation on how to see or how to experience yourself and phenomena, everything as it is, to really, a method, a way to see things as they really are. That's the, Vipassana. Now, here it's called seeing because it's not, it's not just having an understanding or concept. Because, to have a kind of, it's not a philosophy. It's not about philosophizing. It's not just studying or, coming to a logical conclusion of how things might be. It's not just that. It's more experiential. That's why the word seeing is used. Because seeing is direct, is kind of a perception, not a concept. So therefore, vipassana is, to have a experiential understanding of how, what am I and what everything is, what's their nature, the way it really is. What is the true reality of everything. The meditation about that is vipassana. So therefore, vipassana meditation is much more deeper, much more difficult, and it is said that if you have got the vipassana meditation, right completely, then you are kind of freed from what we call the samsaric state of mind. You are totally liberated. You become enlightened, what they call sometimes. So therefore, vipassana is the longer part, the more kind of difficult part. So all meditations has to be either of these two categories. And in one way, it's not really two things. It's just, there's no kind of a complete kind of a mark or border that up to this is shamatha and from here is vipassana. It's not really, it's completely separate also. Because the more your mind becomes calmer, the more you can see what it is. So therefore, a good shamatha meditation is the basis or the beginning of a good, vipassana meditation. And sometimes vipassana meditation brings shamatha. Because there are many different ways of doing. Some traditions, in Tibetan Buddhism also, some traditions insist that first you have to do shamatha meditation and lots of shamatha meditation, and only if your shamatha meditation is really kind of grounded or stabilized, then you can start with the vipassana meditation. There are others who say that there's nothing wrong starting together. You do a little bit of shamatha, a little bit of vipassana, and try to kind of help each other, and then progress. There's others also who said that, shamatha meditation is just wastage of time. You just try to control your mind, which doesn't happen anyway. And then go direct to the vipassana, and then from here, your mind will become more settled anyway. So, so there are different kind of methods. It doesn't matter too much, I think. It is also, whether you can have some understanding of vipassana or not, it depends. If you really have a certain understanding of the vipassana, then of course that's the best. That will bring shamatha also, or shamatha becomes part of that. But if we do not have a little bit of understanding of vipassana, then samatha is also very good, because at least we learn how to be a little bit, let our mind and tamed, or a little bit learn how to relax. And this is also very important, I think, especially nowadays when we are so busy and our mind is so busy especially. Yeah. So I think it is very important that we learn how to relax a little bit, how to let be a little bit. And there, I think samatha becomes very important. And in some traditions, like the mindful meditations, actually vipassana meditation starts with what we call as four mindfulness. That's very, very traditional. It's taught during Buddha's time. It's taught later on in every tradition. It's in the sutras and things like that. So the first mindfulness is what we call the mindfulness of the body. And second mindfulness is called mindfulness of the feeling. And third mindfulness is called mindfulness of the mind. And fourth mindfulness is called the mindfulness of the phenomena. Phenomena here is dharma. Sometimes in Sanskrit we call it dharma. The dharma here is not kind of dharma and adharma, like the path dharma. It's not the path dharma. Dharma here is everything that I can think about. Dharma has many different meanings in Sanskrit. Actually, it has 10 different meanings in Sanskrit. I don't want to go into all these 10 different meanings, but one of them is that everything that I can think about, which includes things that exist and things that doesn't exist. Everything, even those that doesn't exist, I can think about. Say like a horn of a rabbit. I can think about the horn of a rabbit, although it doesn't exist. That's a dharma. So things like that. So to understand, or to have the understanding or clear, know how, the reality, to see the reality of all the dharmas. Now, when you start with the mindfulness of the body, then the samatha and vipassana merge, because sometimes you're just aware of the body, and there are many, like vipassana traditions, which sometimes comes from Burma and things like that, which is called the vipassana meditation, taught by one Indian great meditation master called Goenka, and many others from that tradition. They emphasize mainly on the mindfulness of the body and mindfulness of the feeling, where you kind of your mind is you just relax and then feel, or just be aware of the body sensations, or breathing and things like that, and be just mindful, as we discussed yesterday and this morning. That's the mindfulness of the body, and mindfulness of the feeling is to kind of to see if there is a feeling or any feeling that happens in our body from our kind of top of the, from crown to the feet, and then, wherever there's a feeling, you allow mind to pinpoint where exactly is that feeling. And so therefore it kind of, when even if we have a kind of a pain somewhere, when you really look at the pain and see where exactly it is, you find that there's not one place it exists. It kind of disappears. So all feelings are like that. All feelings are like that. Everything is, when you really look at something, pinpoint, there's nothing there. It kind of. But this is not to understand in a conceptual way, but do it in an experiential way. The Tibetan Buddhism very much emphasizes the mindfulness of the mind, especially like teachings of the Mahamudra, Dzogchen. All these very much emphasize on the mindfulness of the mind, to really learn or experience what is the nature of the mind. When you talk about the mind, we are talking about the whole, whole kind of experience. I think we can say that whole experience, that experiencing thing, that we have. It includes the thinking mind. It includes the emotions. It includes the, kind of subconscious, unconscious, deeper level, different levels of consciousness. The whole of our, I don't know what you call it, psyche, if you want to call it, whatever that is experiencing, that's called the mind, in a very broad thing. So when we look at what that is, what is it that is the one which experiences, which kind of thinks, have experience, knows, sometimes we talk about senses, the sixth sense, five senses, six senses, and things like that. So all those. So therefore, when we look at the mind, then what is what is it? Where is it? What is the nature of it?